You're listening to Lifted You Weight Loss with Annie Jensen, episode number 11, How to Take a Step of Change. We're bringing it all together. Hello, darling. I'm Annie, and I'm here to connect with you. I know we understand each other. We show up, we live hard, and you and I do all of it, carrying the same burden. But here is the most beautiful truth that I've learned over years of struggling with my weight. We do not have to live with this burden. So come with me because you are not alone in this. I'm ready to share everything. My story, my friendship, and every piece of value I've gathered along the way. My purpose is to lift you as you move forward on your own path to light, loving, and lasting weight loss and build something that finally works for you. Darling, there is a life waiting for you on the other side of this process. So let's ease this burden. Let's build what's already within you. Together we'll create a lighter, lifted you. Oh, hey, come on into my office. I'm so glad you made it back for episode 11. I can't believe it. Still, one of my most favorite things to do in my life is to be down in my office talking to you. I love it so much. Okay, let me give you a little update on how I did not scrolling on my phone in my bed in the mornings. During the week, I'm okay. Like mornings before work, when I have an external source of motivation, it's a lot easier. But Saturday morning, I definitely wanted to watch furniture flipping videos longer than I should have. So I have to remind myself to be intentional. So hopefully I will get to a place where I'm just better because I've taken the steps to make it a more natural process for me to not be tempted by that. Also, by way of a weight loss update, I don't even know when I have done one. I said I was going to do that. I'm 16 pounds from my goal, so I have a little ways to go yet, but have made progress. And so I am really excited about that. I have some spring dresses that I would really like to fit into, and I'm pretty close. So there's the update on that. And I mentioned in my intro today that we are bringing it all together today. And we are. We started our layer of practical wisdom 2 weeks ago, and we've already built something really great with just that. So I want to review our practical wisdom layer, and then I want to go back and review on a surface level everything we've covered so far so that we can bring it all together today to talk about that moment in your life where you have a choice to make and you have maybe, you've gotten some clarity or you don't, but you're at least aware of the moment where you have a choice to move further on your path or to make some of the choices that you keep making that have been keeping you stuck and preventing you from making progress. That's the moment that we're going to talk about today. It's that critical moment that we all know so well. So let's review our practical wisdom layer first. Okay, we started by talking about that foolproof plan for any moment in your life. Remember, it's called connect, check, and go. This is where we connect with ourselves, get clarity, and remember that we are not attached to whatever situation we're in. Then we make a plan and we check it to make sure that it's appealing and possible and that it's something we actually want to move forward. Then we go, and that's the movement part where your doer comes in, and that little moment is the exact moment we're going to focus on today. All right, so we started with that. Then we started building your toolkit with the 4 essential skill sets of weight loss. Remember, they are thinking and seeing clearly, responding intentionally, and moving forward. So we talked about how those are the skill sets that we need to develop and how we are going to do that over time together here. We talked about a few practical tools, but we haven't gotten into the nitty-gritty of that, and we're going to do that. We'll start with that next week. Last week, we talked about what you can't see, what you're not seeing, and why it's keeping you stuck on your weight loss path. So we uncovered what's been keeping you stuck and learned that they are only obstructions. They're neutral. They're just rocks in your path that need moving, and we give them way too much power. Those are the bugs in your brain, the errors in your weight identity. Okay, so if you've been following since the beginning, I hope that you can start to see this all coming together. Okay, there's one little piece that I really want to zoom in today to bring things all together, to give you a comprehensive approach to making progress on your weight loss plan. We're going to do that today. Today, the question I want to answer is, okay, this is all great, but how do I do it? How do I take a step of real change in a real moment when it feels hard? So today I want to bring it all together so that you know exactly what to do in that moment and how to do it. So by the end of today, I want you to understand how you personally can take a step of change toward the person you want to become and how you'll feel like you want to do it. Because remember, if you want to do something and you feel capable of doing it, you're going to do it. I also want to make this moment feel really simple to you because it is simple. I know we have spent the last 10 episodes talking all about making this change in our lives, and we've talked about preparing for this moment of change, but the moment where you decide to move, you make the decision and you move really is so simple. We're going to talk about that little moment today, that little moment of choice. All right, we reviewed our layer of practical wisdom that we're currently in. Let's just do a quick surface level review of all we've covered so far so that we can come back to this moment of change in real life, okay, where the change actually happens. Here is a surfaced review of everything we've covered in the last 10 episodes. All right, we know that a loving environment is essential to change. That's why love is the base layer of your weight loss foundation. We know that there can be errors in the way that you see yourself when it comes to your weight and your ability to change and lose weight. We're learning to clear wherever that lens is foggy. We've learned that even when it doesn't feel like it, the real you on the inside is separate from any situation you find yourself in and anything that has made weight loss feel difficult in the past. We know that your inner capability is strong. It's there. We're just learning how to develop it and direct it towards weight loss. We know that an appealing and possible plan is what empowers you, is what empowers your doer to move in a moment of change, and like the moment that we're focusing on today. We've started building your toolkit that you can reach into at any moment, and we are going to keep developing those skills together. And finally, we've learned that there are obstructions in our way that we may not see. These are the errors in our weight identity that are fogging up the lens that we see ourselves. They are the rocks in our path, the rocks that our stream, remember our stream of water where our doer is the water. They're the rocks that our doer has to flow around to do her job. We know now that if we can see it, we can fix it. So we just need to look for these obstructions, neutralize them, and remove them. We need to clear our bugs so we can process freely and move forward. And that brings us right back to today and this moment of change that we are zooming in on. So today we're taking everything that we've learned and we're bringing it into a real moment where you decide, you make a choice, and you move. All right, so let's walk through a real moment together. Okay, now remember in the beginning when we talked about soft work and action work, this moment is a moment of action work. It's not like a planning moment in your life. It's not when you're sitting here listening to me. It's the real life moment that creates change. So remember our friend Bria, this is the moment when she's standing in front of the pantry and she decides to do something different than she usually does. This is that moment when something pulls you, or when you're simply reacting to life around you, when you're in a familiar setting like a family dinner or on vacation, or it's a Friday night and you want to celebrate being done for the week. This is when you're in a familiar setting and your brain wants to do familiar things. When you're tired or when you're stressed, when your baby is fussy or kids have just gotten home from school and it's the most stressful part of the day. Okay, this is the moment when you're about to do something that you've always done, but you need to do something different. Today, we're going to zoom into that moment really closely So close, in fact, that it's that split second when your doer is thinking. She hasn't acted yet, but she's about to. She's about to move in one direction or another, and we want that direction to be forward. So today we're zooming in on that go portion of your foolproof plan. You've connected with yourself. You know that you are not your situation. You've made a plan and you've made sure that it's appealing and it's possible. And now it's time to go. We're zooming in right on that go moment. I know that you know this moment so well. I do too. It can show up 100 or 1,000 times a day. And sometimes we easily miss it because we're just doing what we've always done. But I also know that you do recognize this moment. And I want to show you exactly what to do there so that you know that you can move in the right direction and so that you choose to move in the right direction. All right. So remember, in any moment on your weight loss path, you can stop and notice what's happening. You become aware of it and you pause, even if it's just for a second. That's you rising above the moment and connecting with yourself on the inside. That's you getting clarity. That's you thinking clearly and beginning to see a clear path forward. We've talked all about that. But for today, we're focusing a little bit further in that process. Okay, you haven't quite taken the step of change yet. The internal change in yourself has begun because you're aware of what you hadn't been aware of before. You're paying more attention to what maybe you had been ignoring in the past. But the real internal shift hasn't quite happened yet, okay? So remember, we're zooming in on the go part. So currently, you and your doer are seeing it. You're seeing what's in front of you. You have a possible and appealing plan that you can take. And now you need to take it. You need to decide to do it and move. And those are the two key words in the how to take that step of change. You have to decide to do it, and then you move and do it. That's the moment your doer steps in. That's the moment that you decide that you want something different and you choose to do it. That's go. That's you taking a different direction than usual and moving forward. Here are some more how. Okay, how to take that step. I have several internal actions that you can take in that moment. I'll share them with you here. Some of them may resonate with you more in one situation or another, but I have several here and they are great. These are internal actions designed to help you take that external action of movement and change. These are going to further help you want to physically move forward. So you're there, you have given yourself an appealing and possible plan. Now you need to decide to move and go. And here are those few tricks to help you do that. You need to give yourself the control of the situation. Take it away from anything standing in the way of what you want most. As a human, in that moment, you have been given the gift of choice. So use it. Don't give it up. Make yourself an agent to act in that situation, okay? Not an object to be acted upon by a situation. Remember, we talked a little bit about a victim mentality last week, and I have had to go through and see that in myself for so many years, me being a victim to my weight, to the challenges that I had around it, okay? You make yourself an agent to act in the situation. In more simple terms that mean the same thing is that you are the dominant species in your life. No matter the moment, whatever it is, you're the captain. Make yourself the boss. When I remember this, it automatically deflates the power of whatever I'm facing, and it emboldens me to move. Remembering that you're the boss and not letting an external, inanimate situation in your life have control over you, that's powerful to me. You are not an object. You are an agent to act. Here's another internal action you can take to help you want to move. Bring the greater appeal into the moment with you. Okay, you need to visualize your why in the moment. Keep it in your forethoughts. Don't forget what you're working so hard for. Remind yourself that this matters to me. This is who I'm becoming, and this is the most important thing right now, not whatever you're currently encountering. In whatever situation you're in, picture whatever resonates with you the most. See yourself living 10 years longer than you thought you would, or imagine having that pleasant conversation with your doctor. See yourself getting into a boat, or looking at the view of the mountains from the hike that you just finished. See yourself in a dressing room, loving what you've picked out. Feel the sand between your toes and the sun on your shoulders. See yourself on your wedding day in your perfect wedding dress. See yourself playing kickball with your kids or being comfortable in a bathing suit or in some lingerie. Okay, take a beat, take a moment, and bring to your forethoughts why you're doing all of this in the first place. That will help you make you want to move and take the next step. This next question is so great. And when I remember to ask myself, I usually make the right choice. Ask yourself, where is the value in what you're about to do? Okay, there is not value in mindlessly snacking or saying yes to every food that you are offered. There is not value in making yourself sick. There isn't value in filling your plate too full or taking more bites than you need to, or on scrolling on your phone instead of getting up for a walk. There isn't value in speaking to yourself the same way you have been for so long that hasn't gotten you anywhere. There is value in making the choice that's going to take you forward. There is value in pursuing your health and your happiness for yourself and for those you love. There is all the value in making that next choice that you know is best for yourself. So make it. Okay, the next internal action I have for you that you can take to help make you want to make that move is to remind yourself that you are capable. Remember, anything you feel that is standing in your way is just an obstruction that needs to be moved. Let the drama go. Let the battle go. Let go of the heavy. It's just getting in your way. Keep your vision clear. Remind yourself that you are capable. See yourself taking the next step of change. Visualize yourself going through that next little step, whatever it is, slowing down, one less bite, taking a smaller portion, making a different choice, going on a walk, or just texting a friend instead of doing whatever else you were going to do. This next question is the best, most empowering question, and I truly wish that I would do a better job remembering to ask myself this question all day long. I'm really good at asking it for like big life choices or helping my kids through things, but I could have asked this question of myself 20 times today already, and I haven't done it. The question is, will it be good to have done this? If yes, decide to do it. If not, let it go. Answering this question brings you to your most empowering moment. Okay, this is when you take the power. If the answer is yes, if you know that this choice will be good to have made, if you know that this action will be good to have taken, the choice is made for you. You have an appealing, possible plan in front of you, and you know that this will be good to have done. The answer is yes. So you are going to take that precious human gift that you've been given of choice, and you're going to decide to do it. Remember, I said the two key words in the how to take that step of change is deciding and then moving. So once you are ready, you are going to decide to do it. You're going to make that choice. And then you're simply going to expect yourself to follow through. Now, here's some pretty great wisdom that I learned from Dr. John Connolly, who I have shared with you before. We can build trust with ourselves, and that's a good thing. But here in this moment, after you've decided to do something to move you forward on your path, you can simply expect yourself to follow through. We don't need to trust ourselves so much. You don't put your hand on your refrigerator door and think, I really hope this works out for me when I open this. You just expect there to be food inside, and there is. Okay? Following through doesn't have to be a question because you just expect it. That's how your doer operates. Okay? We're not waiting to feel ready. You're not hoping that you follow through. You respond intentionally. You decide, and then you do it. Okay? And that brings us to this last step, which is move. Movement is the external action. You're going to move your body, move your mind, move your heart, and follow through on the decision you just made. That's it. That's the step of change. You just move. And we're working on neutralizing the obstructions, removing all the yucky meaning, taking out all the drama so the movement rolls out naturally. And when that happens, it feels amazing. When you follow through on the decision that you just made, that is the step of change. And as you do it more and more, you change faster than you thought you could. So what does this look like in real life? Let's look at some examples, okay? Imagine that you're sitting in a restaurant and you think, I want this and this and this, but then you stop remembering and realizing that that wouldn't be a good choice. Maybe you're frustrated or disappointed that you don't feel like you can have it. So maybe you think something like, well, either I overdo it or I choose something that I don't want and I'm not satisfied. But then you're going to pause and think, nope, I don't care what I've ever ordered at any restaurant in my entire life. That does not affect right now. This is the present moment, and this is what I care about. And I want to wear that bathing suit in 6 months. And I am the boss of myself, not this moment. It's not going to tell me what to do. I can make the choice for myself. Plus, all of this is not a big deal. It doesn't have to be a big, stressful, dramatic moment. I can just order off the menu. Now, the next step, you decide. You see what sounds good, what will feel good after you've eaten it, and then you move. You order it. It's different, and it's still you. You eat it, and you feel good about your choice for the rest of the night, knowing you took a step of change. You wake up the next morning, and your phone is right there. And you notice it, and you pause, and then you take a step. You decide, I want a different start to my morning. So you move. You sit up and you swing your legs over to the side of the bed instead of staying in it. That is a step of change. And that is how we build that momentum and that consistency that I've talked about. As you keep deciding and moving intentionally, you'll start to move quickly, more smoothly, and with more clarity in your life. That is your foggy lens clearing and your weight identity rebuilding. Those tiny shifts of change build inside your mind, your body, and your heart, and suddenly your weight loss steward doesn't have to work so hard every day. She's becoming who you are. Your actions are evolving from what you were doing to who you are becoming. And that brings me to some final thoughts that I think we can all learn from and that will bridge us into next week. A shark doesn't wonder if he's fast enough to catch a fish. He just swims until he gets one. Cheetah doesn't fixate on yesterday's setbacks before he attacks gazelle. He lurches for the 100th time without hesitation. And gazelle doesn't see cheetah and think to herself, well, here we go again. I know I just put myself in this situation over and over again. No, she sprints for her life. Powerful human lessons lie within an animal's simple brain. Think of your favorite animal, then watch it in your mind for a moment. They are remarkable. They just do all day, every day. They live as their doer because they don't have the buggy issues that clog up a complex human brain. Their minds are always clear. They don't get stuck. Animals stay out of their own way and they just live. But oh yes, I still choose this precious human life. I'll travel all its uncertain pathways. But what if I could just learn to move more smoothly, like a dolphin glides through the ocean, or just simply take step after smooth step on my sunny concrete weight loss path? I would settle for that. Can we learn from these creatures? Can we teach our brains to clear the obstruction and just flow? Well, yes, my darling, we absolutely can, and that's where we're going to get more specific next week. Next week, before we dive into layer 4, which is body connection, we're going to get super specific with our 4 skill sets. We're going to locate and clear our mental obstructions. With practical tools, we're going to more effectively think clearly, see clearly, and respond intentionally moving forward. That way we can decide and move every day toward our future selves. More like a dolphin glides seamlessly through her ocean. Have a wonderful week, my darling. I will see you next week are going to get specific with our toolkit. Bye for now.